Sonic Frontiers. I'll admit quite openly and honestly, at the time this game came out, I was absolutely hyped for the game as much as I was hyped for when Gotham Knights came out. Unfortunately, it was not as good as I thought it would be. Nevertheless, I didn't want to neglect my honorable responsibility as a loyal Sonic fan. And of course, I got it on the release day and streamed it on Twitch. When first getting the game, I had a certain starting skepticism about the game, which is partially due to the fact that the last really solid Sonic 3D game came out in 2011 with the name Sonic Generations. Sonic Forces was a real disappointment. Not a fundamentally bad game, just a disappointment. So now to my review of Sonic Frontiers. Hey guys, to the new SonicG4mer video. I bet most of you out there are wondering, tell me SonicG4mer, why did it take so long to get your review of Frontiers? Well, if anyone was wondering, it's me treating my channel like it's already went in the trash. And this before my 10-year YouTube anniversary. As a matter of principle, I should bring at least one video every month again. Simply, it's principle. But back to the answer to the question. Well, there were just 4 cases where I had already finished a video, news came, and my 4 videos were thrown straight into the bin. You don't believe me? Here is the footage of my live reaction.
One man, but 4 different cases. The game gets a small sequel.
Finally, my Frontiers video is now ready for the public. What's that? Sonic Frontiers is getting a small sequel next year? Ooh.
The joke is suddenly out of date.
Ah yes, the Frontiers video is finally finished. Let's see what's going on Twitter. Please what? IGN apologized for their "Sonic was never a good" statement at the time? I really can't believe it. They just really made this. Oh man.
It's almost Christmas and you couldn't bring the video on time.
Great. My script is now also out of date.
Yeah, that sure makes you happy, doesn't it?
Oh, that's not so cool.
Your green screen is not arriving at the right time.
Yeah, cool, nice. Now I've included a green screen into the script and it's not coming yet. Yes, what a dishonorable piece of crap. Alright then, let's finally start. Sonic Frontiers really didn't make rating that easy for me. There are so many things I could talk about for hours and hours, but I don't have that much time for this video. So I'll tell you about the most important points of it, starting with the story. First of all, I have to mention Sage, because she surprised me in quite a positive way. Initially, I was concerned that it might be some kind of infinite clone, and what my take on Infinite is, well, I'd like to remove him from the canon. The good thing is, Sonic Frontiers seems to agree with me as well, with some light jabs at forces here and there. In general, every character from the Sonic series was written in the same way that was last experienced so well in Sonic Generations. The films and the series are now excluded. Everything just feels in the right place and I love it. Finding out about the ancestors was also very interesting and I came up with wild theories during my streams. For example, at one point I mistook that mysterious voice for Tikal, and even if it seems hard to imagine at first, just the fact that I was able to think about it basically shows how much fun I had with the story. I really can't say anything negative about the story honestly, even if I tried really hard to. We really haven't had a story this good in over 11 years, so 10 out of 10 rings. Now we come to the gameplay. It really wasn't that easy for me. Though I would like to point out that exploring and collecting objects was really fun. The boss fights against the Titans were just a banger. After you usually snack on the last emerald above the boss, you become supersonic in every fight. Of course, I also enjoyed the Cyberworld levels, and while many find it pity that they are so short, I have to say it was almost perfect for me. In a Sonic game which has 20 hours of playtime anyway, I don't want to be stuck on a Cyberworld level for another 5 to 10 minutes. Fishing with Big was amazing as well, but I have to admit that towards the end it always seemed monotonous and at some point you just see everything. Either way, despite the monotonous feeling at the end, it was still very nice overall. It's nicer fishing than in Sonic Adventure DX. Another thing I found about gameplay was that it was quite annoying upgrading from the old locals. You have to constantly click on each upgrade and can't do everything at once. No joke, it definitely took me an hour before I was fully upgraded to the final boss. Overall, in the end, the gameplay gets 8 out of 10 rings. Onto the graphics. This is now very critical. At the beginning of the Frontiers period, I received a video with graphical errors from my old friend Zilas, which he also posted on his Twitter. Afterwards, I and a few others told him that he should change the graphics card and that it would be better. He actually changed it and it was better, but the annoyance he had before probably didn't help with him enjoying the game at all. To be honest, I don't really know if I'd enjoyed it after so many issues either. The extreme pop-ups cause issues with rendering and they could have made it better for people by making it able to handle it on lower frame rates, by baking it together. On top of that, the rain just doesn't look nice on Sonic either. I could still talk about the water reflections that don't work well and LODs that are set strangely, but I simply don't need to explain more of it since there are a few videos already and this video would be too long if there was a whole tangent on it. So I give the graphics 5 out of 10 rings. In conclusion, I would just like to say again that I find Sonic Frontiers to be a very good Sonic game, despite the graphical errors. My initial skepticism and fear that Frontiers could go bad totally disappeared towards the end, and I've now included Frontiers in my fan hearts. Now, calculating the previous points in rings, I would give the game an 8 out of 10 rounded up, but since the fun and surprise factor was so great at the end, Frontiers gets 9 out of 10 possible rings from me. I recommend this game to every Sonic fan out there, or at least to give it a fair chance. To end things off, I would like to point out that you can mark April 22nd and 23rd in your calendar, because that's when I start my 30-hour live stream. I'm happy about anyone who decides to come by and watch. But until the next video, I say now, take care until the next SonicG4mer video. Bye! Yeah, cool, nice. Now I've included a green screen into the script and it's not coming yet. What a piece...
Freak Knuckles, and we're at Pumpkin Hill. You ready? I ain't gon' let it get to me. I'm just gon' creep down in Pumpkin Hill. I got to find my little speed. I know that it's here. I can sense it in my feet. The great emerald's power allows me to feel. I can't see a thing, but it's around somewhere.